Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FV304. It's the Tier 6 British SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Ruinberg, and it's under the command of Beerwalla. And at this moment, he was in the OKO clan. Game on! Well, this is a replay from November of 2023. Yes, some time ago. It's a 122 client. Yeah, so a very old one, but it's interesting nonetheless. In fact, there's two replays for you to watch, this one and the follow-up, and they're both interesting for their own individual reasons, but you might be amused. Anyway, let's see how he gets on. Well, he's out of range of these guys at the moment, so he can't get shots on them, but he might be able to get shots on some of the people a little bit closer. When the reticule goes flat, that normally means you're at maximum range, but his first shot on the T26E4 does strike the target, and now he's going to go for this guy, which I think, if I can read that correctly, is an IS-3? No, it's an IS-6B. That's the black version of the IS-6 hull. Of course, Wargaming trying to sell you the same tank twice, just changing the colour. They've done that so many times. Okay, he's going for these two. He's actually victimising them. Yeah, they'll get the message eventually. They'll realise it's just not worth sticking around with an Arty dialed in on you. Especially if it's a good Arty player, because of course he's going to extract maximum hit points out of you while he can. Okay, lined up another shot, rounds out, and right on his rear. Oh, he set fire to him! Yep, he set fire to the engine bay as the guy retreated. He hasn't shown up dead yet, but I think he's probably put the fire out. 212 hit points from that shot on the Super Pershing. In fact, the IS-6B did turn up, and he's just turned up on that corner, but look at this guy, this KV2. Yeah, trying to sneak up on us, and no, that's not going to happen. So we can't see the IS-6, but we can certainly see this guy. Only problem is we're a little too close to the buildings in front of us, and although the shells will go almost straight up and straight down on the enemy, we're very close to the buildings. So let's give it a shot. Rounds out. Super accurate, and he gets a hit for 72. Now he just needs to do it again. That M2Y is, again, he's going to get the same message as other players. Oh! The shell literally bounced off. Now he had a quick look by holding down his right, or his left mouse key rather, to hold it in position while he had a look elsewhere. Just wanted to check, were there other targets he could strike? Well, he can strike this T28. Of course, that guy's got heavy armor, and he did move away from the aim spot fairly quickly. But wait a second, he might stay still long enough for us to get a shell in. No, he doesn't. But we can still see this guy, the M2Y, so we fire around at him instead. And that splashed him. Actually landed behind him, but it was close enough to actually damage his rear. We fire another one that way. But he looks away after he fires, so we don't get to see if he did any damage. And I don't think he did, actually. But that M2Y is a one-shot. One round in the right place, and he's going to expire. That damaged his tracks. Come on target, on the engine deck, please. Unfortunately, no, that one hit the building, I think. Here we go. This should be his last time. And it isn't. He really does have a lot of luck, that M2Y. So, trying to get a shot on that T28. He's also a one-shot. The shell zooms over his head as he pulls back. Sometimes it can be dreadfully tempting to aim for tanks which do have very low hit points remaining, because you know that they are not likely to survive just one hit, and of course it means a kill. We're going back to the M2Y again. Now he's had to move a bit closer again just because he's at maximum range. The rescue gets flattened at maximum range. He fires the round in, and this time he wipes him out. So that's his first kill of the game, actually. Now he's going to try and do the I6B. The IS6B, I should say, not I6B. Unfortunately, he takes out our BC58, but can we get a shot on this guy? Yes! 116. He worked out how far ahead he needed. That guy's about to shoot on one of our teammates and wipe him out from behind. It's an Alpine Tiger. But the Tiger's going to go around the corner, and he gets wiped out by the Super Pershing instead. Now, the building is shielding the Super Pershing at the moment, so we can't get a shot on him, but we can get a shot on that IS-6B if he moves forward just a tad. Nobody's spotting them at the moment. So we're waiting for somebody to spot them, but nobody is. In fact, the guys have moved up quite a lot. So much that we actually have to pull back. Because otherwise they're just too close for us to shoot over the top of those buildings. Too close to them. The trajectory goes flat when the target is too close. So he's going to try it again. Rounds out. Yes, gets a hit this time for 42. Again, that building is getting in the way. Oh, he wiped him out with that round. And that's his second kill of the game. But he is actually now running out of teammates. He's only got 2 teammates left with him. And the enemy has now got all the same numbers. So now it's 3 versus 3. And he's on the move. You can see 2 marks of excellence on his barrel as well. Now, the enemy he's up against is a Sture Mill, a T26E4, which he's punished quite a bit. And that guy's headed towards the cap. And the enemy has also got an FV304. Now, as you know, this is fastest Arty in the game. 72.4 kilometers an hour maximum speed. Meteor engine. Same sort of engine that they had in the Spitfire, but without the turbocharger. It's also put in the Cromwell tank. Now, he should be able to hit the cap area from there, but we just need somebody to spot for us to show us where to put the shell. I suspect that the T26E4 will go into the cap, but he proves me wrong by actually driving towards us, and that shell did not do anything. In fact, we just see the tracer from the FV304, and he's actually close by near the cap area. We fire a round in. This time around, we do get a hit for 80. He's down to 8 hit points. There's the enemy Arty. We'll go for him first because, of course, we can pen him. And we penned him, and he's out the game, and that's 3 kills. Now, can we take out this T26E4 as well? Well, we've lost our spotter because he's gone walkies. Oh no, he's come back. Okay, so we're going to move up here. Hopefully, the E25 will keep spotting. I don't think he's going to look for the Sture Mill because the Sture Mill cannot be in the same position. The E25's runs up and down the tree line. Oh, well, it looks like he's neglecting the T26E4, and he's going to go after the Sture Mill instead. Well, if our 6th sense goes off, we know he's been spotted. The worry is that it's a Sture Mill. Now, Sture Mills can have either a 105mm gun, which makes them like the Ducamax, or they can have the 128mm, which is the same sort of gun that you get on the Scorpion. Yes, so you don't want to really get hit by one of them because that means they've got about 490 alpha and we've only got 315 hit points altogether. So ideally, we want to find him before he can find us. At the moment, oh, I heard a noise which sounded like a shell nearby. I'm wondering, did we get spotted? I don't think so. I suspect that what we're actually doing is just following the E25 for the moment. Oh! Now that wasn't nice. That was a 90mm round from the T26E4, and it shows how close he is with his 8 hit points. We're backing up to try and get it on target. We're dialing in. One shot, please. Yes! Gets rid of him, and now there's only one enemy remaining. That's 4 kills now for Beerwalla, but he's down to just 85 hit points. So even if it was only a 105mm gun that the Sture Mill had, we will still be a goner with one shot. So now we're following the E25. Now he can take a hit and die, and we can just drive up to the Sture Mill and shoot him in the face, and that will be the end of him, because he has very thin armor around the gun. The hull, though, is a customized hull. I think, if I remember correctly, it was made from the VK. Oh, here he is!
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Oops. Well, the E25 should be able to take him out. And he does. And that is the end of the game. It was one of those moments where you come around the corner and you suddenly face to face with the one thing you don't want to see. And he saw it straight, and unfortunately the Sture Mill was quicker on the draw than he was, and he was kind of startled. Yeah. But even so, that was an ace tanker game for Beerwalla in the FV304. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9. And he also picked up a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. And this replay, as you can see, took place on the 7th of November 2023. Yes, I know it got missed, but it's one of the list. Every replay you send in, I will keep the information. And once I've got around to it, I can then get them done. If we look at the team score, we can see he didn't get the highest damage because that actually went to that Super Pershing. He got 3,069 hit points of damage. The T28 managed 3,000, and the third highest was the BC58, who got wiped out by the one of the enemy tanks. I think it was the Super Pershing, actually, wasn't it? He got 2,450 hit points. We can see that the E25 did pretty good because he got 2,023, but Beerwalla only got 1,764 hit points. What he did get, though, is the highest number of kills in the game, and he shared it with the Super Pershing and the IS-6B. Yes, that was the guy who took out the BZ-58. Yes, he got the shot. When it came to second place, we can see it was the Wizzy 111 Wizzy 111 Alpine, who actually got 3, and also the Sture Mill got 3, and RT25 2. Yes, we were one of the kills for the Sture Mill. And when it came to base XP, we can see it's the BZ58 who did well with 1,081, followed by the E25 997, and then the T25 2 with 901. Beerwalla only got 832, but that's all the same. He was still an ace tanker. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 27 shots, but he got 16 direct hits and 1 penetration, 23 splash. 1,764 hit points, of which 1,452 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits and 2 penetrations, and he was out the game. 4 hit enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and he did 8 defense points when he reset the enemy cap. That was where the T26E4 went into the cap, and he just then killed him. On a free-to-play account, he actually made a profit of 6,797 credits from that game. And he also took away 1,830 experience points. But unfortunately, yes, he did die in the battle to the hands of that Sture Mill. A 128mm round right through him. And That was the end of the game. The one he actually penetrated in the game turned out to be the enemy FV304. Yes, the 4.5-inch howitzer is well able to penetrate a Burt of the same nature. So that's the end of the first battle. Let's have a look at the second one. The second replay is on the mines map, or on the south spawn, and Beerwalla has a rammer, a vents, and gun laying drive as his equipment. Now the amusing thing about this game is it took place directly after the last one. Yes, so he's just finished on Ruinberg and now he's getting ready to shoot at the enemy. Okay, looking for a target. He's expecting somebody to go up into the castle area at the top of the hill. Our AMX-12 seems to get in there fast, but you can see maximum range is not too far away from the entrance to the gates. But shell goes in. Oh! Penetrating shot on the AMX 12 ton with his first round. That guy took a hammering. He fires his second round in. Doesn't get anything off that, but our AMX 12 must have been quite happy about seeing his enemy take a hit. Going for the BK. And he's gone. So that's the first kill of the game. It's a tier 7 game, this one, so he's up against some higher tier opponents. Okay, can he get a shot? The KV2's just out of range. Damages the tracks of the SMV. Now, trying to get a shell over the top of the castle battlements, the towers rather, the ruined towers, which can normally be quite difficult for Arty, but the FV304, having a high trajectory, can get the shell over those towers. Well, it appears that that enemy tank just expired, so it saves us the bother of actually going after him. But now we've got this guy, and he's wiped out altogether. That was a super Hellcat. We lose the AMX 12 ton to their AMX 12 ton, but let's see what happens to their AMX 12 ton. He backs up. Yes, he doesn't want to get hit by that 4.5-inch howitzer again if he can help it. And you can see from here, it's a little too far for us to hit some of the others. The KV3 is still there, but he's almost out of range. We can't hit the AMX 12 ton because he's gone the other side for the moment, but now we can hit the KV3, and we're aiming for the engine deck. Rounds out. It hit the ground next to we hit the rear of the vehicle, and I think it tracked him. He's looking very closely to see if he can put the shell on the deck, and he does. It went right onto the engine deck, and it looks like the guy's tracked, so we're going to put another one in there. And it still hits him and tracks him. And we're getting damage assist now, because once he's been tracked, he's immobilized. Our guys are getting help. Another shell goes in, more damage. Just had a quick look away. Fires his next round in. And it's another direct hit. He's not going to be able to take that much longer. And in fact, he pulls back, but he pulls back straight into our view. Well, the round bounced off, but nonetheless, our SMV CC 58, or 56 rather, managed to get the kill, and now we're smacking the T-3485M. The standard reload is 12.94 seconds. And you can see here, Beerwalla's got it down to 10.5, which is very quick. Almost like a Fifi in terms of the reload speed. And that one hit the front end. Looks like our guys have reached up the far end of the map and are now harassing the enemy FV304. And he's gone. So we don't have to worry about him attacking us. There is another Arty on the enemy team, though. The AMX-13 F3AM landed just to one side. That was RNG. Let's try and get this one on his engine deck if we can. Rounds out. Well, he's out the game, so that's our third kill. Now, can we get this AMX 12 ton, the guy who escaped the first shot we fired in the game? So close. That guy needs to buy a lottery ticket. I think he's very lucky. Fires another one in, ahead of his path. Almost gets him again. Now this Arty does have a narrow arc. It's only 31 degrees in total. 14 degrees to the left and 17 degrees to the right. So again, when you're trying to shoot over or near rocks, it can be a bit of a difficulty, but he penetrates the T-3485. Or at least I think it may have been a penetration. It shows 144 hit points. Go for it again. Oh, he's down. He went out. Our AMX M445 got the kill shot. And we're now having a quick look at that AMX 12 ton, who's at the entrance, trying to sneak forward and take a shot at any of our guys who are trying to come up, but we can put a round into him. He stays still long enough. No, I think he hears whenever we fire, he hears it and he moves out the way. Well, there are only 4 enemy tanks left. That AMX 12 ton, the AMX 13 F3AM, an SMV CC56s ×2. Since they're all so far away, we will have to actually motor now to get closer to the enemy. The AMX 12 ton just died, taken out by the AMX M454, or sorry, 45. And we're going to try and go up the center. That should give us the chance to get at the SMV, but we want to remain behind cover of the rocks. Oh, and I think we just banged into one of the rocks. And now we're going to open fire on the SMV. Let it dial in. He's very good at doing that. Rounds out. This is accurate. Lands right next door to the guy. But it's a fast reload. And no, you do not get away from Beerwalla. That's a hit. 140 right on his turret roof. Now go for the engine deck. Last shot. Rounds out. And that's him out the game. That's his 4th kill. And remember, this is directly after the Ruinberg game that he did so well in. There are no Stura Mills for him to come across in this one, but he's firing where he thinks the AMX-13 F3AM might be at the moment. Our guys are homing in on that spot. If he's not there, he'll be in the corner. He is there, and the AMX fires his round, but he gets wiped out moments later. And that's it. That's the last kill of the game. And it's a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and yet it was another ace tanker, as he says, another one. What, back-to-back ace tankers in this game. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 14, and he got a fighter badge yet again for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly on this one. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage again. This time round, it was a Sherman VC, or 5C actually. I think that's the Firefly. Yes, it is the Firefly 5C. He managed to get 2,251 hit points of damage. Then we've got Beerwalla with 2,210. So he wasn't far away from getting the highest damage in the game. And the Firefly 5C didn't get the high caliber. It wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. Third highest damage turned out to be the M6 from the enemy team with 1,819. When it came to kills, though, Beerwalla got the highest number of those with 4. 3 kills went to the M445, and then 2 kills went to the IS and the Sherman Firefly, and also to the FV304 one on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, yep, Beerwalla gets that one all right. 1043 is the only player to get over 1000 base, with the next one being Firefly, who got 894, followed by the IS with 851. He fired 34 rounds in this one, got 18 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrating shots and 24 splash. Damage of 2,210 hit points, of which 2,066 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4, and he got 895 hit points of damage assistance when he tracked somebody and then he started taking damage. On a free player count, he actually earned 30,117 credits from this one, and he also picked up 1,252 experience points out of the game as well, only 8 minutes lasting. So, 2 games from way back in 2023. I'm sorry to Beerwalla that it's taken so long for me to actually get them up, but I am trying to get some interesting games for some of the viewers to watch. And I thought that after you sent in that replay featuring an FV304 on Lakeville, that it would be nice to actually do the ones from other days that didn't actually get through. So I hope you've enjoyed these. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.